Amonos with Ricky Novella. Amonos. Ricky Novella. Don't be a fun. Don't be a fun. Don't be a fun. Hey, we're back. We took 2 weeks off because Papa was just enjoying life.
Damn.
This is Amonos with Ricky Novella.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mind Buzz Media. Gil, how we're doing today?
Let's go. What's up, Ricky? We are back.
We're
in the beautiful,
back, dude. We're back. Hell yeah.
In Paramount, the beautiful city of Paramount. Here at we got a new name.
What's the new name? What's the name?
Of the studio.
Oh, it's not okay. We're not saying it yet. All right,
Not
that's fine.
yet, not
the
yet.
secret, super duper amazing studio.
Yeah, in the city of Paramount.
In the city of Paramount.
Yes. Yeah, but I'm doing good, Ricky. I'm glad to have you back in the studio, and I'm excited for today's guest.
Yo, me too. And I've been enjoying life. I've been just not doing shit. I've been doing things that I want to do besides podcasting and comedy, and it feels good. We just did a show yesterday at a birthday party. It was a backyard party, and it was pretty good until people started leaving in some of our sets. But hey, that's comedy, baby. That's comedy. Some people don't like dick jokes, and we got a lot of dick to get.
Some people can't take it.
Yeah, and if you hear that lovely voice, there's a special guest of mine. She is a massage therapist. She does wonders to people's bodies, man. She did some work for me twice already, man, and she rejuvenated me. She took my 30-year-old back and put it back till I was like 15, dude. And her name is Georgina De La Luz. How are you?
Hello, buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
I'm good. Happy Sunday. It's a good day, right?
Yeah, it is a good day.
Sun's out.
So your only day off?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well, when you own a business, you're always working.
Yeah, dude. And
that's why when you were saying, like, I finally get to do nothing, I'm like, oh, must be nice.
You need it, though, sometimes, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
sometimes need
definitely you do need to disconnect to reconnect, because then you come back, like, more recharged and you're more motivated, and it's almost like, okay, I'm ready to, like, conquer everything.
And that's exactly how I feel right now. I don't know. I just, after I did the Brea Improv and I did another show the next day, the next week, I was like, I'm just going to just take it easy. And then the following week, I was like, I'm just not ready yet. So after this week, and like I did the show yesterday, I was like, oh no, we're back. And I saw Gil perform too at the Chatterbox, and that kind of recharged my energy to kind of want to keep going, doing the open mics and just doing shows.
Well, it just allows you to step out of the chaos, and you're like, all right, cool, let me just go back into it. And then you, like you said, you get a little bit more of motivation to kind of keep it going. So that's cool.
You also have to live too. Like, comedy is about life, and if you don't have the chance to live, then like, what are you gonna write about? I feel.
No, that's true. I think I agree 100%. And now we're back here for the Amonos podcast, and I'm so happy to have you. I've been trying to get you on for some time now, but just schedule conflict.
Mm-hmm.
You're a very busy woman. You're a very busy woman. Tell us about your business.
My business. So it's kind of crazy because sometimes we forget to kind of applaud for ourselves and like see how far we've come. And in just 3 years, I've been able to. Now I have a suite with 2 rooms in it.
Oh shit, you do?
When I went before, I was like sharing a space at a gym with somebody, and then my friend was like, "Hey, do you want to rent the space out?" And I'm like, "I don't know if I'm ready to be on my own." And then I took the chance, and now 2 years later, in that same space, now I have both of the rooms. So it's been a crazy ride. I got to do on Tuesday an event with Nike and the Run Club.
Oh shit, yeah, I've been seeing you
Yeah.
post that. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of like runners stuff, right?
Yeah, because I guess running clubs are in right now, so everybody wants to get their miles up. But it's also like, it's a very interesting dynamic because I'm like, oh, it's the new form of like dating. But I'm like,
yeah. And
why would you want to go run? Like, what are we running from? Like, I don't
running from each other or running towards each other. Maybe
they run like 26 miles.
That's fucking ridiculous. Just
26 miles. Like
2 miles sounds a lot for me. I'm just like, fuck that. I'd rather just sleep.
It's wild. So like the fastest guy did it in 2 hours and like 45 minutes at the LA Marathon. I'm like, what? And one of the girls, she did it in 3 hours.
Oh,
I was like, she's all walking all. I'm like, yeah. Why? I don't understand. I'm more of a hiker.
And they do like the hiking like things now too, right?
Yeah,
like,
I
there's
just
like
saw
the dating thing where everybody goes on a hike.
Dating?
Speed dating on hikes.
Yes, I was like, okay,
Really?
you're gonna, you're gonna be all out of breath. Like,
shit.
so what's up? Yeah.
What do you like doing for fun besides hiking?
Yeah, no.
Do you like to party?
Mean, if you're into it, I think I'd be
but
down.
don't you think that's kind of scary? Like, what if you find somebody when you do your hiking thing, right? And then they just fucking become a psycho and they just kidnap you, take you away from the mountain and lock you up and.
But that could be anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think that
there's weirdos everywhere.
Yeah,
the hike, coffee shop, taco stand, comedy shows everywhere.
The taco.
There's weirdos
Yeah,
everywhere.
what do you mean? The taco guy, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué onda, mamacita? ¿Qué te damos? ¿Qué carne te doy, mija?
He's like, damn, the guy with the y un burrito y una torta.
Damn, whose order is this? A torta, burrito, God.
Yeah. No, there's weirdos. I feel like everything, but at the end of the day, it's all about energy, right?
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah.
I think you can. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to not meet crazy dudes. Maybe like mama's boys, and maybe like, oh, you're not there yet. But other than that, like a crazy, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to put myself in a situation where I'm like, oh, yeah, this guy looks... And then even when I did try Bumble, I'm like, you guys, look at this. Look at this picture. Like, no.
Psycho.
No, this is like old. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think you do... There is a way of reading people.
Yeah, I think so.
Because everything is energy. And like, even when you walk into a room or you approach somebody, you're like, oh, something's off about them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have had a crazy experience with somebody before, but yeah, that person's no longer in my life. But dude, that shit was crazy. And just, sometimes the energy, the energy, you can't read it sometimes.
You were attracted to look crazy, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
As much as men want to say they're not attracted, you're just as crazy as us. It's just it really, that cheesy saying about like finding the right amount of crazy. I do think that's, you gotta have a
What's
little
too crazy for you?
I mean, I've had experiences.
Yeah.
I have. I think the craziest was I lived on a second floor and he beat me to my apartment and jumped onto the balcony. And at that time I would always leave my my sliding door open. So he fucking jumped in, boom, and as I opened the door, he opened. I was like, what? I think that was pretty crazy.
This will parkour into your apartment?
Yeah. Second floor. I was like, ooh, what's that say about me, though?
Yeah, that's...
But still, it was
scary.
It was kind of crazy, but I feel like I'm grateful that I experienced the crazy cycle already because I'm never going to...
Now you know that you want to stay away from that shit.
Wait, hold on. So what happened? He beat you to
my
your
house, to my apartment, which he didn't know where I lived.
You guys met each other?
It was a race. They were trying to see who can come first.
No. So he was an ex-boyfriend of mine.
Oh, okay. So he knew where you lived.
No, he didn't.
Oh,
that was his first time. So he had followed me home from a concert. Yeah, it was a fucking crazy ass.
Okay, so story. He beat you to
my apartment.
To the apartment.
Because I was like, oh, if I go in this way, he won't know where I'm at.
Sure.
But then the pendeja, I have to park around, and where I park, that's like where my apartment's at. So he was like waiting.
It was like rat race a little bit.
Kind of.
You know what I mean?
But I was like, oh, if I go in this way, he won't know. But then he like met me around, and I don't know. It was crazy, and I actually called the cops on him, and he was all pissed. He was like, I never call the cops on you. And I was like... I swear, he was like, after all the crazy shit you did, I never fucking called the cops.
Oh, so you're crazy too. That's the problem.
I mean, again, crazy attracts crazy.
Yeah, you heard her. She was like, men are just as crazy as women, dude.
That's funny. I never call the cops on you.
Straight up. He's like, I never call the cops on you. And then I was like, well, why the fuck are you in my apartment? You know, like for me, it's different.
You should have told him. Well, you should have, dude.
You should have called the cops on me.
Right? I'm like, oh, we've been through some crazy shit. But again, like, I'm glad that I've experienced that crazy because I don't want to be like in my late 30s, 40s trying to be in that crazy
Yeah, I
situation.
get that. I know.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
At least now, at where I'm at in my life, I'm like, oh, that's a bright red flag. I'm not gonna wait to see how many flags I can collect, or to see how clear, like, it's a clear red flag and then how red it gets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you have to live you have to live those experiences to find out what is your red flag, because your red flag can be different than mine based on my past experiences.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you can't also, like, it's not fair to like judge someone off the past experience, because the next person that you meet isn't gonna necessarily treat you the same way. But at least now I have like a better
gauge on
and I'm like, okay, that's a little toxic, but
hey, but the sex though is fucking crazy on crazy sex.
I mean, that's, no one's gonna deny that.
Fucking choke me and fucking call me your little slut, right?
Yeah. Call the cops on me after.
Call the cops on me after, baby.
Realistically, if you met a girl for the first time and you guys were about to get in and she's like, I just want you to sock me in the face, like, would you do it?
Not a sock, a slap, yeah.
But you, first time you
I'll throw my sock at her.
Mr. Socko, fucking.
He pulls out like a little sock puppet. He's like,
you ready for this, bitch?
Oh,
have a nice day.
She's
that was
like,
good.
Whoa, what?
Just like,
but you would on the first, like, that has to be a red flag.
I think it depends. It depends how heat in the moment kind of things are, you know.
But like a closed fist.
No,
punch?
I would never close fist.
Okay, what
slap,
if she's
yes.
like, I want you to just slap the shit out of me.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting hard right now. It's actually yeah, well, because I like that kind of, I like choking, I like slapping, you know, biting, pulling hair.
But do you feel like you need to have consent for that, or what if she was just like, bah!
But her saying slap me is consent, right?
Yeah. Slap me, daddy, slap me.
Or
slap me, thicky.
Wait, hold on. So if she says slap me, that's not consent?
I mean, I guess in the moment it could be consent, but I'm saying, like, I think you're about to begin and she just, I don't know, or just,
she does it to
what
you.
If she initiates it with a slap and she's like, I just want to get dirty right now?
I'd be like, fuck, all right, let's go. I'd probably be like, are you sure?
I need you to write this form.
I need you to hold on, let's record this.
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
Gil, start recording. Yeah, no, I would have to kind of get some like reassurance that this is what we're into, you know?
Yeah. But I do think, like, in moments of like intimacy, when it's like really getting hot and heated, there are some red flags though. Like, I'd be like, you want to do what? We just met. Like, you know what I mean? Because that should be a little of like, wait a minute, what am I getting into? Or like, is this just going to be like one night of that? Maybe I'm down. But if this is who that person is, like,
see, I think if they would like say daddy stuff to me, I don't like when girls say daddy during intimacy. Like, I think it's weird, you know? For me, it's weird. I think it's like that.
Father.
Father Astro.
Call me father.
Father.
Don't call me daddy. Call me father.
Fuck.
Dude, father sounds a lot better. Father.
That sounds crazy.
Father, why have you forsaken me? But enough about intimacy. Let's talk about more about your business. So you grew from having a
right, and I'm like, we're not the conversation. That's not what we do.
Yeah. So you're a massage therapist, right? I went to massage therapy school as well. I didn't like the career after I finished
the school. That's what's crazy. But realistically, it's kind of hard to really do something where you are giving a lot of yourself, because in the beginning, I would get so tired and so drained, and I would come out of massages like drenched, and I'm like, what am I doing? But I didn't know about energy work. So I think if you were to learn different modalities, like, what if you learned how to do deep sports massage?
Yeah, and
or if you learn how to do like assisted stretching and pin and stretching, like, there's so many ways that you could go about massage that it's not just like relaxing.
Yeah, no, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become an athletic trainer for a college team, whatever, like professional soccer team. I wanted to keep it in soccer, but like I know you had to kind of start some way, and I was trying to get clientele, and obviously you kind of try to charge a little bit less to kind of build your clientele, and sometimes
it's hard.
People were already lowballing the low prices, and I was like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm good.
That's
you know,
exactly where I'm at. Again, I've been doing this for 15 years. I work with professional UFC fighters.
Yeah.
I travel with an adult baseball league. I work at a 4-diamond resort. Like, I'm there, you know, and I've learned so many different techniques and modalities that, like, just this year, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna charge $100, which is nothing for what I do.
Yeah, and
people are still like, can I get a discount? And I'm like, well, you don't understand. You're like paying for what I could do in 30 minutes, you know, or like an hour.
And speaking from experience, her work is very, very, very good.
Thank you.
Not only like the relaxation of like the massage, but I did feel like you cleanse my energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, because I view the body more than just muscular.
Yeah, because you did your assessment in the beginning, and she's like, okay, she knows where I'm tight. She knows where I need some work, and you just kind of went in. You went in, and I'm just like, I just trusted you. I just like, she knows what she's doing.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like with any kind of work, you have to kind of feel safe in order for you to relax. And that's why I like to work the body as a whole, and why I start with the warm up, because I want to feel your body. I don't want, you're going to tell me like this hurts, that hurts. But if once I start feeling your body, I'm like, oh, there's tension here. Oh, maybe it's an emotion, because why isn't it moving? Like, our body's so amazing and we're so multi-layered that like, that's what it is. And I love hearing that like compliment of like, I feel so recharged. Like, and I'm like, yeah, like that's how you should feel.
Yeah. The next day, I was at work and I was just fucking full of energy. And my dad made the joke. He's like, "Oh, you went to get a fucking rub and tug, huh?" I was like, "No, I didn't do that."
Sí, pero no.
Sí, pero no. And I felt really good. And like for the following days, I felt really recharged. Just felt in such a good mood. And the crazy thing is like the body is one unit, you know?
Correct.
Like, so
it's one layer.
If you have like pain like in your shoulder, it could be something in your back that's making everything tense to make you feel pain in that area, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And but the big notion of a massage therapist is that everybody thinks, especially for females, is that
I love you long time.
Yeah, they think you're gonna give happy endings, and that's the annoying part, you know, because like,
well, it's a career that's very sexualized, and I will even say this: my dad was like, "Who wouldn't want a massage from a pretty girl?" And I was like, "How could you say that?" But at the same time, I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna prove him wrong."
Yeah, and
you know, because it shouldn't. Realistically, it's not about what I look like. It should be my work that speaks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But also, like, it is a cherry on top that I'm not. No estoy fea ni gorda.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
the way your voice just fucking relaxes people, you know?
Yeah, yesterday I had this lady, she's like, "Can I just say your voice makes this experience even more better?" I was so able to relax, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm trying to whisper because you're really loud. So I have to like coach them, you know, like, yeah, like just let me like bring it down a notch, Scotty. Like it's
oh God, this feels good.
For reals. But it's really about the, I guess, not the environment, but the experience. Like I don't think you would be relaxed if I was like, yeah, and then blah, blah, blah. Like that wouldn't relax you because you're like, oh my God. The same thing with music. Like some people are like, can I get a massage to like EDM or like house music? And I'm just like, like, you know what I mean? Like I can't get into
if you need some more oil, put your hands up. Bam, bam, bam.
Right. That's just But it's that, you know, and I'm like, oh, does it sound sexy? Like, should I not? But then that's just me being able to help you relax. But I'm not like, ooh, take a deep breath in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
take a deep breath in, daddy, and father. Yeah, and that kind of sucks because, like, I know, like, I still kind of, like, know a lot of massage therapists that I went to school with, and the females, obviously, you know, they always, like, have that struggle of men trying to take advantage of a good service, you know?
But thankfully, I've done a good job of working in establishments that aren't like that.
Yeah.
And I could say, like, in the 15 years, I've maybe had, like, 2 major incidents where, like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, but I've been coming to you for 6 months. I thought we were friends. I was like, so you're going to show me your wiener dog? Like, no. Like, it's...
Scary. Ew.
It was...
Wakala.
Right? I'm like, not yours, but... it is a thing, you know, and it's, again, when you're in this profession, like, you do have to use your boundaries. Yeah.
That's
I
scary.
think
Men are trash.
the scariest one that I was like pissed off about was because when you check the computer, there's a note, right? And it says he was inappropriate with me, had to end the service. So I was like, why is he still being able to get massages?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an older gentleman who had Parkinson's, right? The shaking, right? No. So he started shaking the sheet down, and I would just like pick it up and tuck it, and he would just shake it down. And I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're not going to do that here. And I was like, this massage is over. And I'm like, how come he's allowed to expose? He's an older gentleman. I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still creepy.
The fact that it's been noted and he's still allowed to come in, I was like, no.
So so like another thing too, I kind of want to bring. I just thought about it. So like some of my guy friends are like, oh, like I don't want to get massages because like what if I get if I get an erection, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's normal, you know, because it's normal. So like, obviously the professionalism is like, you're like, do you ignore it? Do you like acknowledge it or?
So I've had one of those experiences, and once we turned over, I was like, damn, like, it was big.
It's a boom.
No, it was like, I was like in shock because I was like, damn, I never seen something like that. Like,
hold up, we're going to Monster.
He literally had like, his tent was pitched, and I was just like, like, again, it's normal to be so relaxed that you do get aroused a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's because the blood's is flowing. So when he turned around, and I was like, damn, like, okay, well, I'm obviously not going to work his legs, because if I work his legs, so I just
poke my eye out.
Yeah.
Poke my eye out.
So
Poke your eye
I
out,
just
kid.
like was like, okay, well, damn, but I'm going to work from him on the waist up and just like make sure that I'm only working in that direction instead of down.
Yeah.
So I just positioned myself so I wasn't like right there, but I was like working on him. And then after the massage, I waited for him outside, and I hear him take freaking tissues out of the box, and I'm like,
oh
my
shit!
God. I was like, I'm gonna have to go in there and clean it. Like, oh my God! And then I hear the water on, and I was like, oh my God! I was like, okay, well, that's the first. And then he comes out like, he comes out all freaking like with his head down, and he just like hands me money, and I just like his hand, and I was like, all right, I just put it in my pocket. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to go this way.
Why is it so sticky?
No, I like walked him back into the waiting room. And then I was like, okay, that was like wild. Because again, I'd never seen such a thing.
I remember when like the first instructor that we had, right? She was like, man, we'll get erections. All you got to do is either tell them you ignore it, or you tell them, hey, do I give you a moment, you know, because sometimes they'll come with inappropriate.
Can you grab it for me?
Can you grab it for me?
Can you just
because
it
like
okay.
You know, I've gotten when I was especially in that class, we had to like work on each other a lot, and I had got erections before too, and I was just kind of like, oh fuck it, I'm trying to hold it to the side or something, you know what I mean? But
when I first started getting massage, like I hadn't gotten massages like that, like full body until I was in school. So for me, I would be like, oh, I feel so good. And to the point where one of the girls in my class was like, can you tell her to stop? And then the teacher was like, no, like you're going to encounter this when you're out in the field. Like you have to realize that people express or release in different ways. You know, like I had a guy a while back, and he almost started to cry, but then he started laughing. He was like, oh, I was like, I later was processing that I was trying to release something, but it like, instead of crying, it made me want to laugh. And and that's the truth. Like the way you release is totally different for anybody.
Yeah, it gets emotional. Some people get emotional. Like I know one of the experiences that instructor told me too is that I think she was giving a massage to somebody, and they started crying, and she's like, oh, do you need me to give you a minute? She's like, no, you can continue. It's just I haven't been touched, like given any like affection since my husband passed away.
Oh damn.
So that's why she was like, okay, no. She's like, I can give you a minute. She's like, no, just continue doing it. And people don't realize that, you know, when like massages, people think massage is just all like just relaxation, but you do kind of go towards some different emotions depending on the state of mind, right?
Correct. But again, like we're so multi-layered that it's not just our muscles. Like it's energy, it is emotions. And when we're presented with an emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, joy, anger, or fear, the first thing we do is we hold our breath. So
Yeah.
And then if we don't feel that emotion, we store it in our body. And what we don't realize is like that constant pain or that chronic low back pain it's an emotion. And if it's something that you've been getting worked on and it's not going away, then it's an emotion. That's like, hey, you need to acknowledge me type of thing.
Oh, damn. That's deep. That's deep.
Like I've experienced it with, I had a friend pass away on my birthday, and then another friend passed away like 2 weeks later. And one morning I was like, oh my, like I was not like I hadn't felt the grieving, but my body had felt it, that I had to like call someone. I was like, yo, I need you to come work on me. And I was like sobbing because I was letting all of that go. And that's what I think is amazing about body work, is that you can, if the person allows you to feel, they can get to that level where you do feel lighter, or you can like just let go, because our emotions are what weighs us down more than you freaking lifting.
Yeah. Then like doing like a whole ass workout.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
You know, and the crazy thing, when I went to Everest College,
you made the call?
I made the call.
Did you get off the couch?
I got off the couch and made the call. My instructor didn't believe in the Reiki and all that stuff. So when he brought the other instructor to teach us, like he was just all like rolling his eyes and stuff, right? And I wish I would have knew more about that, but for me, because at that time I wanted to be
you were more into the
the sports access. When we learned sports massage, I was like, fuck yeah, this is cool. This is what I am, you know. Mm-hmm. And like, but a lot of the energy, it's real. Like, you know, whether you believe in it or not, it's real.
Well, yeah, we are energy. Energy is all around us, you know, and that's the beautiful thing about like death, which I like to work with clients on, is that like someone's energy doesn't die. It just transforms, it transmutes. That's why like you'll see a butterfly, or you'll see a bird, or like a song will come on or whatever. That's just their energy that's like embedded in you that comes out. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
But it is real. And I work with a therapist who's like, chakras bullshit. And I'm like, yeah, you know, you're very like Western, very like, but you know, some people believe in it. Some people think it's witchcraft. This is el diablo.
El diablo.
El diablo. And I'm like, okay, señora, you're over here praying to the rosary freaking beads. I'm like, that's kind of like brujeria too. Yeah. You're believing the santos and you're praying, and like, it's the different but same, I think.
I think so too. I think you're right. It's just like white energy and like dark energy, you know, kind of thing.
That's real.
You know? But yeah, I think people sometimes need like an energy cleanse, because some people carry a certain energy around them that like it's just draining.
Well, and then if you think about sometimes when you are in that funk and it's like, I can never catch a break.
Yeah.
You're always like, bad luck. I'm losing things. Like that's like real too.
Yeah, I think so too. No, I 100% agree. That's what they say. Oh, necesitas un limpia. Necesitas un limpia.
For reals. Full moon. Come get one.
You do sound baths too, right?
Yes, and I'm actually going to do one at the next Sunday at my studio in Santa Ana. And I just completed a whole year of doing sound baths. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like I've got to venture in different like aspects of, again, healing, because I feel like a sound bath is something that for some, especially if they have like ADHD or they're very hyper, like they cannot come down. Mm-hmm. Like the energy, the frequency is too much for them.
Yeah.
But there are others that as soon as I start, they'll start snoring. And I'm like, oh, like you need rest.
Yeah. So you do personal sound baths or like in groups?
I do both.
Oh, okay.
So you can add it to your massage, which I think is like really good.
Whoa.
You should try it next time. Okay. So after you get your massage, then
you go into a sound bath?
Yeah. So then you're just like butter baby.
Oh, those are awesome.
Yeah, I did experience it one time. You gave me a little taste of it. And yeah, it's relaxing.
I fall asleep, dude.
I remember just like feeling I sunk in her massage bed. Uh-huh. Like I just sunk in. And then the last time that I got my back done, the same thing, you did a little like
the energy, like the grounding.
Yeah, the grounding, and I just felt like I was sinking in. I was like, oh shit.
Well, because we do have like energy points in our body that kind of, they're like powerhouses, right? Like one, especially on top of our head, because a lot of people are constantly going. So it's like, hey, let me get you out of your head and into your body. And the grounding one is on your feet, right? Because you're literally touching the feet your feet are touching the ground all the time. But if you're constantly on the go, like, let me bring you back down. And it's really crazy. Like when I learned that, I was just like, whoa, this is insane. Like how can applying pressure in certain areas have such an amazing effect on the body?
Yeah, and I think that's why like people say too, like you should go touch grass like barefoot.
Ground yourself.
Yeah. I've done
Definitely
that before
need
too.
to like release energy because again, even being around all of this, you do collect a little bit of like energy from it. Because if you think about it, like when you're in an office setting and like the lighting, like you get the migraines, you're drinking coffee and you're just stagnant. So you're just like pretty much cooking when you're sitting all day.
So that means you have to go be active.
Well, I'm like, come on, girls, let's go walk on our lunch. And they'd be like,
hell
no. Yeah. And I'm just like, all right.
Speaking of energy, and I'm not trying to, because I had a conversation with somebody about this the other day. Do you think like in intimacy, right? Like there's times where like souls connect? Because we're talking about energy and like souls.
Yeah, I've experienced it.
It's crazy, right? Because
I cried. I was like, what the fuck?
Me too. I fucking cried and just a tear came out when I came. I was like, oh.
Right? I was like, I think I love you. Like, yeah,
I love you.
That's so.
It's like
real.
It's called like what, like soul bonding?
Like soul bonding or like the soul ties, and then like there's like if you have sex on your period, like that's a bonding thing.
It's the best.
I don't know. I'm not that type of bruja. I'm not into that.
Oh, they're just getting their period just fucking crossing on your forehead.
No, she slaps you with it. She's like, you're mine.
Simba. She's Simba. Yeah, I think that shit's real because...
You're still thinking about her?
No, I'm not thinking. I'm just saying, but like this soul bonding is real though because like you don't really experience it with just anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because not everybody's at that like level of consciousness. That sounds so cheesy. Like
consciousness. Confucius says.
Yeah. No, but it's like a real thing. I think it does. And then like depending on who you're sleeping with, whatever demons they're carrying or like depression they're carrying, like you do feel that way. Because I used to feel it a lot when I would work on people, and then I'd be like, damn, why do I feel so sad? Or like, why am I so angry? And then I'm just like, oh, I'm feeling what they were feeling. Or I'd be like, damn, dude, like, why do I feel like my neck? And I was like, oh, I was working on the lady that had the neck problem. So yeah, I think it is like very true.
I get really angry when I'm with Gil too sometimes. So I don't know if you know why.
Well, you're breathing pretty hard, so must be a good thing.
His face is fucking Gil, dude. Sometimes I just want to punch Gil in the face, but
why?
Get the soul.
I know.
Let me tell you. It all started.
Therapy part of
the therapy part, yeah. The therapy part. Would you do a couples massage with me and Gil?
Hell yeah. At the same time?
Yeah. I'll lay on top of Gil, and then you just kind of like work on both of us like that.
At the same time. Or just one hand each.
One hand each.
No, but unfortunately right now I just have a male therapist. So if one of you is comfortable with the man,
Yeah, Gil's comfortable with men.
Yeah. As long as I get a sound bath after, I don't. I don't care. Those things are so awesome. I remember the first time that I did it, I completely knocked out, but I felt so good after.
When you woke up, right? It's like you're lighter. Well, it's because the vibration's literally moving the body.
Yeah.
Were you kind of like against it at first? Where you're like, oh, this shit's stupid, or were you like open to it right away?
No, I'm pretty open-minded to new things. You know, at the beginning, I was like, okay, this is I like pretty not weird stuff, but you know, I'm pretty open to certain things, and it was fine. I mean, I what's your question? I don't.
No, yeah, because some people are like they wouldn't try it because they're like, oh, like this is dumb. Like, why am I gonna be just laying there? You know, like they're not open to the idea of just hearing the sounds and just relaxing and letting.
Well, because some people don't know how to relax. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I did one on Thursday at the hotel, and it was like 2 girls that were on spring break, and she's like, God, I couldn't wait for this to be over, and I'm just like, damn.
Oh, what a bitch.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, like I'm over this little foo-foo flaffa thing, like that, whatever you're into, and I was like, oh, she must be going through it, like, you know, but. I can say it's not for everybody, and even if you have metal in your body, you can't do a sound bath.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the vibration can like mess it up.
Oh,
can, like,
I didn't know
tighten. Like yeah, because you're working the body with the vibration, and everything is like moving as much
Yeah,
as you
yeah.
don't want to. And like I had a friend that was in recovery, and he brought his like recovery friends, and it was just crazy to see their bodies kind of like reacting. Laugh if you want.
Ah!
No, but like one of them was just like, like, and I'm just like, oh, like there's, it's either trauma or it's just a lot of movement in the body that sometimes you can't control.
Yeah, I believe it.
But it was, you know, and afterwards they were all like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, like I love it. Like I feel like it allows you to like kind of get out of your body and you just feel lighter afterwards.
Yeah, I like that's the reason why I like the energy kind of work in the sound baths too, because it does make you feel lighter if you're feeling heavy. You know, because sometimes you don't feel the heavy, like, how can you say it? Like you feel heavy on your shoulders, but you're like, I haven't done any like workouts or I haven't done anything heavy. Like, why do I feel so heavy? I feel so tired. Like, and all that stuff kind of just lifts it up, and you just kind of like
let it go.
Let it go.
Do you agree that? Good thing you said that about letting go, because I think most people don't either they don't know how to, or they don't want to let go of certain issues, because that's
what's that victim mentality.
They feel that that's their identity. It's part of their identity, and nobody wants to lose a part of their identity if they're an angry person, or if they're a sad person, they make it part of who they are, and sometimes it's not that, right?
Correct.
And people don't want to lose a part of themselves or whatever, so they can't let go.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like for like sound baths and like massages, right? You have to let go, right? You have to be open to letting go some of that stress.
Word. You have to be open.
Yeah.
Because I've had somebody be like, well, how do I let go? And I'm like, well, stop thinking. But then it's like, how do you stop thinking?
Yeah.
And an exercise that I learned in school was think of a white piece of paper and then like imagine going back to that white piece of paper. Like whenever your mind starts drifting and you start like thinking and whatever, it's like, no, check yourself and get back to that white piece of paper. And then that's where you finally can let go and you start falling into sleep.
Yeah, I've had to do that before. Like when I'm fucking stressed out, and like right before I go to sleep, my mind starts running, and I have to like really just like close my eyes and just take deep breaths and just be like, stop, turn it off, like turn off your mind, turn off your mind.
But and realistically, it is hard to shut it off sometimes. Even for me, sometimes I'll have to listen to frequency music so I could like, okay, let me stop thinking and let me like connect to the music so I could let go, because it's true. And what you were saying about people that get stuck with like, this is who I am, pobrecita de mí, and it's like, pobrecita de ti, like you'll always
be that person.
Stay. And it's so sad because they don't know any better. And I'm sure we've all experienced something traumatic, something that fucked with us, that it's like, it definitely changes who you are, but you need that to grow and mature.
I feel like a lot of like Mexican parents or Latino parents are like that. Así soy, no voy a cambiar. You know,
and
like
I'm like, yeah, well, how's that working out for you?
Yeah, I think it's
Por
true.
eso tienes freaking cholesterol, and that's why your sugar's high. And you know, like it's our emotions affect us in more ways than we actually know.
Yeah,
you know, and
I agree.
I feel like for Hispanic parents, because they were raised, most of them, in a house where it wasn't hugs and kisses.
Yeah,
it was like,
putazos,
you know that I love you. Te estoy pegando porque te quiero.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, fuck.
Or like, I have to work so I can. That's me working is because I love you. You know, kind of shit. Like,
which is
food
like,
on the table.
Thank you for the trauma, emotional.
Yeah, emotional damage.
It's real though.
It's okay, Gil. Don't cry.
I know.
Okay.
Let it go. Let it go.
But that's like a really good topic that you hit, is like, especially, are you first generation?
No, I'm fourth generation.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you were born in Mexico. What are you talking about?
I'm fourth generation, homie.
Fourth generation. Yeah. That's why your tios have their last name tattooed on them?
Dude. They don't know how to.
They know how to spell it.
They forget. But I do think like generationally, first gen kind of had it the worst, because we're being raised from families that like had to survive, and like now we're in a place where it's like, if I don't work, then I'm lazy.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't have a chill. We really, and like you said, like you were like happy that you didn't do anything because you're like, oh, this is what it feels like. And for me, this past year, I was like, dude, I'm done being a hustler. Like, fuck that. As much as I love what I do, like last week I worked 13 days. You think I want to do that? No. It's just being able to provide and be satisfied with enough. Because once you're at that point, then everything just starts coming to you. But the mentality of like, tienes que trabajar, tienes que ahorrar, ¿por qué no estás limpiando? Da, da, da. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, it gets too much. You get overwhelmed and you just don't feel right. And that's how people get sick too, you know?
Well, and that's the thing is like everybody is so, tienen tanto coraje because they're so frustrated and flustered with like, I got to do this and da 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 da.
Right.
It's like, why would you want to live a life like that?
From perspective of like first generation, second generation, I'm fourth generation, right? And I think the similarities are expectations, right? Because you're, as a first generation, you're expected to be better than your parents, right? But I think as me for fourth, like I should have my shit together, right? Because I am fourth generation.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen like that.
And also too, like some people like what is having your shit together, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
People have a different ideas of what having their shit together is.
That is very
because some people can be like, oh well, I just work and that's having my shit together. Some people's like having a job and having a family is having their shit together. Or having their own place, living on their own.
It's
you know?
Subjective.
Yeah.
Like anything in life. Anything in life is subjective to what other people's qualities or values of life are.
Yeah. I think either way, just doing what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting anybody and you're happy, that's having your shit together.
Yeah, your intentions. I think if your moral compass is like right, then I think you're gonna flourish regardless. But getting out of that mindset, like even with the whole feminist thing, which I was like, I hope I don't talk about that. But it's reality. Like I feel like it was a trap because now you have a lot of women that are in like their mid-30s that are single, that have careers, and they can't or they don't have families or relationships because they were like, you need to have a career and career. And it's like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
You know, like
no, that's true. Yeah, and there's some people that want to continue going to school and expect like a man to take care of them, you know? Like there was somebody that I met, right? I just met the person. It was like not dating or anything, right? But she was like, "Oh, I'm going to school. I have like 3 associate's degree." I was like, oh, "Okay, cool. What are you doing with that?" "Well, I'm going back to school to get another one." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like,
so
"For
you're
what?"
gonna get in debt.
Yeah, and
well,
then
I think with anything, it's sacrifice, right? Like what do you want in life, and you have to be willing to sacrifice another piece of your life because you can't have all of it. I mean, you can maybe, but you're still sacrificing. Like when you go to school, right? What are you sacrificing? You're sacrificing time spent with your family, time spent with everybody. Going out because you have to study. I think memories. Anything you do, you're sacrificing. Like right now, we're doing a podcast. What am I sacrificing? I'm sacrificing my time being spent sleeping or being with my girlfriend or being with my wife.
She's like, this early? I was like, yeah, girl.
He said wife and girlfriend. Did you catch that?
Like, what are you willing to sacrifice for what you want? To do what you want? There's sacrifices in everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always have to be, I feel like, a rat race.
Of course
and
not.
I feel like that's where we kind of have got it a little wrong because it's like, you got to do this and do that. And okay, but again, with like our parents, I'm like, okay, you put in all this work for what?
Yeah, 100%. It's like,
you
what's
saved all
next?
This money.
Is it good? Are you willing to?
You saved all this money for what? I'm like, you're not traveling. Te duelen las rodillas. You can't even, you know what I mean?
Your back hurts, your hand hurts, your shoulder hurts.
Like, what's the point of that? Like, I think it's, as a culture, we've kind of got it backwards because we should be in the now. So whatever the now is.
Right. I guess my point was, whatever you're sacrificing, like make it like
worth it.
Make it worth it.
Yeah.
Make like it should be something that you really give a fuck about.
But it should also be something that like, okay, I'm gonna take 2 steps back so it can take me 3 steps forward. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that has to be, again, with sacrifice and time. It's like, all right, if I do this, then I'll be able to get to that. But sometimes you don't even know when you're on that journey because
and either way,
you get a detour or something happens.
Yeah, shit happens where you have to kind of like, all right, go with it, or sometimes regroup and think about what the next step is.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things, but you're right. It's just living in the now, and not thinking about so much of the future.
Well, yeah, and that's what anxiety is. Anxiety is when you're thinking ahead, but you're like, you don't even know that you're right here.
Yeah.
And like, I could feel that in the body, which is crazy. Like, I'm like, oh, you're an anxious person. How do you know? And I'm like, it's all in your head. Like, think about it. This little tiny neck is carrying this big head of thoughts because you're like, and then I got to do this. And then, and I'm like, whoa, girl, like, breathe,
slow down.
Breathe. Cause that's another thing. People don't really breathe. And I'm just like, smell the flowers, blow out the candles. Like
oh shit.
That's what it is.
That was some poetry right there.
Well, it's not everybody knows how to even breathe correctly.
Yeah. I forget to breathe sometimes too.
Or you catch yourself and you're like, ah, and I'm like, damn.
So when you're getting an old man, you start doing the
and you get up. I'm like, nope.
Chingada madre. Start making dad noises.
So, I think you mentioned this to me too. You recommend getting a massage or some relaxation work done to the body at least like once a month, right?
Once a month. If you can't do it, come twice a month or every 2 months, but take like longer than an hour, 90 minutes. Like I have clients that only come quarterly, and I'm like, cool, but we're doing 90 minutes, so I can work on your body and work on the targeted area. But wellness, regardless if it's hiking, running, going to the gym, you need to do something to move your body.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like if you're not in movement, if it's not going to the gym, at least going walking, your body starts stiffening up on its own too.
And then you become stagnant, and that's where you become heavy, and you're just like, ugh, like slumped.
Fucking heavy, baby.
Yeah.
Heavy.
And it's true. But definitely, yeah, I do. I mean, me, because I'm constantly giving and working, like I try to go every 3 weeks, because if I don't, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It people probably don't think that massage therapy is like a hard job, but it is. It's a lot of work, especially if you don't know the body mechanics of it, because there's a lot of body mechanics that you need to know to not hurt yourself or exhaust yourself, because if not, you're gonna be fucking.
Yeah, most therapists don't make it past 3 years.
Yeah, this shit's tough.
It is. I remember the first time that I started my career as chiropractor, and at that same time I was working at Costco, and that shift, I was like, oh my God, I can't even fold a shirt. I was like, what am I doing? How I can't even fold a shirt? Like, how am I gonna like live my life? I couldn't even pick up a fork. I was like, what is happening?
Oh shit.
Like, it was crazy because I didn't know that how much I was giving, but
yeah. And it's nice when you give so much and then someone takes care of you, you know what I mean? It's like
definitely needed. We all need it, I think.
100%.
But you're right. Some people think it's like a luxury, which from the standpoint of like at the resort that I work at, it's a baller ass spot in Huntington Beach, out of all places. But it's becoming a luxury now because our books aren't full. Like, people aren't coming to spend their money. So now I'm like, okay, cool. I can not focus on that and focus more on the studio where I can be for everybody.
Which is cool because like I've seen you post that, like you went to fucking Mexico City to do the UFC thing, cool. And that was fucking cool. I was happy for you when I saw. I was like, that's fucking sick. Yeah. You get to meet athletes. You get to meet
all types of people. You know. Yeah, that's one thing that I do like and enjoy about my work is I don't know who's gonna get on my table. You know, and then it feels good and a little bit rewarding to like allow people to kind of just unpack because you're carrying so much that you're just like, you know. So it feels good to be able to hold space for somebody to be like, okay, I'm gonna let go, because it's hard to let go, especially I think for guys than it is more women.
Yeah,
because you guys aren't gonna take a day off to go to the spa or get your nails done or get a haircut. You know what I mean?
Fucking, I would do. I would. I like taking those like.
Self-care days.
Yeah, like I'll call off like if I'm really not feeling at this job that I'm at right now. I'm trying not to because you work with your dad. I work with my faja, and
so you can't.
not even that. It's like, it's just more like, I'm not sitting in an office all day. I'm outside. I'm enjoying the sun. I'm walking back and forth.
You're moving.
You know, I'm moving. So like, I also kind of think of it like, this is my cardio for the day, you know? But
You're getting your steps in.
I'm getting my steps in. But like, I do like taking those days off where I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to go get breakfast for myself and go get a haircut
needed,
or get a
yeah.
massage, because you really do need it. The whole thing of like, you have to work every single day. Don't take a day off. I think it's dumb. Like that whole American dream kind of thing is like, no, work, hustle, hustle, hustle is bullshit. You need to take time for yourself and recharge your batteries, whatever it is, whether it's just taking a walk in the park, like, in, you know, reading a book, whatever it is. Like, you need to take some time to yourself, because too much work is just, life's too short for that. You know, you miss out on a lot of things when you don't get to take care of yourself.
You can read.
Barely. Barely. I still haven't finished Supermarket. I just can't sit down and read for the longest. I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I usually try to read when I'm doing laundry. That's when I start reading.
Well, because you need something to like take up your time.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. I can't read. Like, it has to be a really good, interesting book where I'm like learning. If not, I'll be like dozing off. I'm like, damn, I read the same sentence like 5 times. Like, it has to be like something that's like intriguing for me to be like, oh.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a question for you. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on like maybe massage and like taking like marijuana, like having an edible, or like someone that like smoking before? Like, do you think that's a good combination or no?
It's tricky because obviously when you smoke, you feel relaxed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in the massage setting, you're telling yourself to relax. So you're telling your body what it should be doing naturally. So you're kind of fighting it.
Oh, okay. So you don't think it's kind of like a good thing?
I think if you did an edible, that would, because it's in your system. So you're more like, whatever. But if you're smoking, usually it affects your mind and you're like thinking and you're like, okay, I want to relax. And then you're like, what did she do in my arm? And why did she do that? Like, I think it's harder.
Okay, you kind of get paranoid.
Not paranoid, but you're in your head more than you should be in your body. But again, everybody's a little different.
What about a little microdose of a mushroom?
I don't know. I want to try.
That'd be sick.
I personally want to try it, but I don't know what exactly it would do because it's poison for your brain, right? You're like, mushrooms
I don't know.
Part of it.
It's a fungus.
It's a fungus. So imagine like
when people are on mushrooms, dude,
you're like hallucinating.
You're poisoned. That's what you're doing to your body.
I'm just having a good fucking time. That's it. All right.
Well, the poison. That's what it's doing.
But I think like a microdose, like it just kind of it just makes you happy. It gets you just, you know. I don't think like a full on.
It depends on the dosage, but you go in waves, right? Where you're like super excited, and then you're like, oh shit, and then you're just like, it's a wave. So
I think, but that's just how much you take, though.
Yeah, but imagine when you find a knot and I'm working it really deep. Like, what is that gonna do to your brain? Because you're like, oh shit, like, are you gonna feel it 10 times?
Let's find out.
Just sign this.
Sign this waiver
for science. For science.
Just gonna be like, slap me and call me father. What else? What are your next goals for this? You were kind of talking about it before we got on. So, what are your next goals for your business then?
I actually am gonna go back to school. Funny that you said that, but I want to do acupuncture because acupuncture works with the energy channels in your body. So I want to be kind of like a one-stop shop, and I'm gonna learn Chinese herbal medicine. So if I can curate like a tea or a special concoction just for you and your depression or your lack of sleep, like just customize it for you. That's what the goal is. So call me doctor in 3 years, baby.
Hell yeah, I mean that's like, cool. Yeah, I haven't done acupuncture yet just because I'm fucking.
You've never done it?
No,
but you have tattoos. So what are you scared of?
It's different.
No, like tattoos hurt way more than acupuncture, but there are acupuncture points that do hurt. And again, but it's not like when they're wiping off when they're wiping your tattoo, that shit hurts.
You know what's funny? Like the reason I'm fucking thinking about it. So I went to get a massage at the Swami one time.
First mistake.
Dude, they're actually pretty good. Those particular masseuses that were there were pretty good. and they had a doctor that did acupuncture, right? And there was a guy that went in there, and he was like, some patient went in, not even patient, but a fucking customer went in and was like, oh, I hurt my back, like I got in a car accident. So the doctor was like, okay, cool, like what hurts? And he told him, I think it was part of his neck. Okay, relax, take your shirt off. So they started doing the needles, and one of the needles was on his face.
Oh shit.
And the guy was like, oh, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And he started asking the lady, ¿Está bien lo que está haciendo el doctor? And he's like, relax, like you're a man, like just relax. And I guess he put the needle on his face, and like it didn't hurt him though. It didn't hurt like how he thought it was gonna hurt him.
It doesn't hurt. It's just, it's scary, the thought of it, because you're like, wait, that's gonna go in me. But again, you're just working with the energy channels. They're called meridians. It's like the freeway of the body that correlates an organ to a different part of the body. And when there's like a blockage, right, that's where you start having disease or illness. But it's not crazy. It's not like you're going into the body. You're just lightly tapping into it to like allow the energy to move.
How about
so
this?
It's not like it doesn't.
If you ever need
a guinea pig,
I'm in. I'll let you be the first person to put some needles in me.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Ah!
Just some are a little crazy because they'll put some like in between your nail bed.
Oh,
and, like,
fuck,
here. Dude. Yeah, there's some spicy spots that you're just like, oh,
the tip of your penis. Okay, would you take a needle to the tip of your penis?
Yeah.
If it meant you were gonna get it bigger or what?
Oh no, shit! Just for the fun of it.
Just to feel it.
Yeah,
Prince Albert.
Why not? No,
That'd
that
cool.
Prince Albert is different. That's at the base of the shaft.
Oh, okay. What about the tip?
Is it? I mean, I don't know. I've never seen one.
I'm lying.
So.
If we were to see one in real life, what would you think your reaction would be?
I think it is. I think it's at the base, right?
That one's on at the base.
Top.
But there's fools that have gone there like.
That would
stuff
be,
on the tip.
Wouldn't it like feel weird? Yeah, like wouldn't.
How would you?
How would you take care of that?
Probably just clean it. Probably have to take it out.
Oh, you have to clean it? Probably not.
But if it's like going through the whole thing, like,
no, it's like the cartilage. No, it goes to the cartilage.
I don't think that's possible. Is it?
Well, you're not. It's not a bone. Your penis is not a bone. It's like cartilage and like nerves.
I thought it was a muscle.
I mean, there's muscle in that too, dude. It's fucking flex that.
There's layers to it.
There's layers. Yeah.
Yeah, there's layers, but I don't know. I've never even.
Would you be scared?
Porn.
Would you scared in a porn? I've seen it in a porn.
I've never. I'm not like. Let me look. That's not on my top 8 for sure. Not on my top 8.
Top 8.
But I've had male clients older with their nipples pierced. I was like, whoa, that was.
Oh, that's cool.
Totally different.
That's hot.
I had a guy that had like a dragon biting his nip. It was that's cool. It was crazy.
A tattoo?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
I was like, that's
different. Kinky daddy,
like,
kinky.
That's different, It is kind of wild to see like some bodies because of their like the tattoos they'll get, and I'm like, what the fuck is this swastika? Damn. I've had somewhere I'm like, oh shit, does she know I'm Mexican and I'm massaging her right now? But there's people get some weird things tattooed on them, and I'm just like, oh, now I remember you.
That's crazy.
Tattoos, but.
Have you ever had any embarrassing moments while you're doing massages?
I had an older lady, right? She was, pero estaba señora, so I'm like, I'll give her that. But I pushed on her panza, like on the side of her hip, like that, and she farted so loud, I yelled. I was like, ah! Like I yelled. It scared me because I was like so into it, and then I just pushed on her, and she farted, and she goes, "Excuse me," and I was like, "All right," and then goes back to sleep. I was like, "Okay."
That's crazy.
But I think that was pretty wild. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like it scared me because I was like so into the massage, and she was like. Pretty loud one too. Yeah,
you'll let him rip sometimes. I think I'm more nervous of letting a fart out than getting an erection during a massage.
No, I think it's happened to me before where I'm like, oh, well, that wasn't them. That was definitely me. Like, I'm all trying to like kick the table and like make a noise. I'm like, they tell. Hopefully they didn't hear that.
Or start smelling the. Oh God.
I'm like, here, smell this lavender.
We gotta wrap it up. All right. It was a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
I like
this was actually fun.
Gina. I like calling you Gina more than Georgina. It's weird calling you Georgina.
No, well,
but
Georgina's my name, but I feel like
Gina. Everybody knows you, Gina.
Gina's like easier.
Damn, Gina.
Exactly.
But promote your social media, please, because that's what you need to do when you come on podcast. That's what I need to
do. Okay. My business is De La Luz Body Works. I'm located in Santa Ana, California. I do house calls, but it does come with a price.
Yeah, you got to pay.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. So if you're interested in getting body work or you're curious or have any injuries, feel free to hit that DM. Don't be a sucio, please.
Yeah, don't be a sucio. Be professional because she's very professional. And
I'll tell your mom.
Yeah, tell your mom. She'll put you on blast. And it was very cool talking about the body and energy. I'm glad you came. And remember, everybody, don't be a fucking bun. Shout out to Gil for being on the ones and twos.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.